Number 8, North Carolina. Number 9, Virginia. An ACC rivalry heats up in Klockner Stadium. It's the Tar Heels and Cavaliers next. Today, Old Spice College Lacrosse comes to you from one of the best atmospheres in the entire sport. Klockner Stadium on the campus of the University of Virginia as the 9th-ranked Cavaliers are set to host number 8 North Carolina, the 66th meeting between these two ACC rivals. Hello and welcome to Charlottesville. I'm Eamon McEnany along with the All-American goalie out of Johns Hopkins, Quint Kesnick. And Quint, when you take a look at these two teams and this conference, sort of a microcosm for the entire sport so far this year.
It's been an unpredictable league in the ACC. Teams have taken turns beating each other on a weekly basis. And what stands out nationally, aside from 2 unbeaten teams, it's been chaos every week, almost like the NFL, where teams are capable of taking down quality opponents.
As we take a look at our midseason headlines, only 2 unbeatens left, both in the Big East, both on ESPNU this weekend. And right now, the Tewaaraton Trophy frontrunner, Cornell's Rob Pennell.
ACC weaker out of conference this year, already staggering 7 losses out of conference.
Now in this game between North Carolina and Virginia, 2 of the best players in the entire country, 2 top 5 Major League Lacrosse draft picks.
Yeah, we'll start on attack for North Carolina with Billy Bitter. You talk about a guy with water bug-like quickness. He plays in hyperspeed. He's shifty from behind the net. It is impossible to cover him with one man. He'll make good defenders look silly. Bitter, when you double team him, well, he's got the ability to slice and slither his way through the double. You got to take the body when you're trying to defend Billy Bitter. For Virginia, senior midfielder Shamel Bratton, he is Kemba Walker with a lacrosse stick. Explosive dodger, blazing speed. He can defeat his man, creates shots for himself. Now he's back in the lineup after being suspended last week.
He missed last week's loss to Maryland in violation of team rules. Dom Stargia suspended him. Back, available to play today, but not in the starting lineup.
Be interesting to see how much time he gets and if Shamel can become a better teammate.
Time now to take a look at our impact players, brought to you by Warrior. First for the home team.
Shamel Bratton's got 17 goals. Steele Stanwyck is the ringleader of this Cavalier offense, averaging tons and tons of points. He's 7th in the nation in points per game. And Colin Briggs, Jr. out of Rhode Island, breakout season.
16 points. And for the visitors from Chapel Hill,
Billy Bitter, 4-goal effort against Johns Hopkins last week. Nicky Galasso, the nation's best freshman to this point. And then Marcus Holman, 20 goals on 36% shooting.
North Carolina's goalie, Stephen Restivo, out of Ward Melville on Long Island. 3 career starts so far, getting the starting nod a couple of games ago.
Restivo, smallish in stature, extremely quick hands and feet. I love his balance.
And for Virginia, the senior, also out of Long Island, Adam Gittleman, the winningest goalie in the ACC.
Experience, 44 career wins, but he's looking straight into a 2-game losing streak, which is very unusual for this Virginia program.
The last time Virginia lost 2 in a row was 2007. That last loss was an NCAA tournament first-round loss to Delaware. So this is the first time in a season they're dealing with a losing streak since 2004, when that year the defending champions dropped 4 straight. So foreign territory indeed. Virginia in the home white. Ryan Benacasa facing off against R.G. Keenan. North Carolina in the road blue, and Keenan wins face-off number 1. North Carolina looking to snap a 7-game losing streak to Virginia. Here is Nicky Galasso. Number 1 freshman in the country, is ranked by Inside Lacrosse magazine. Here is Bitter. Virginia going today without number 40, Matt Lovejoy, their most experienced defender. He's out for the season, had shoulder surgery earlier this week, so an already inexperienced group gets even younger as number 5, Harry Previs, makes the start.
Virginia coming out in zone defense, which is unusual.
Quint, what does North Carolina have to do today to break through against Virginia?
Well, R.G. Keenan has to face bounce back at the face offense. Struggling, only 10 of 36 in his last 2 games.
Gittleman makes the first save of the game on the first shot he sees.
And then defensively, their team defense. They've got to slide, rotate, and recover, really be efficient in their double teams, because I think Virginia's offense, Ramel, Shamel, Bratton, Colin Briggs, they have some matchup advantages, and Carolina's going to have to play some great team defense.
So Hill drops it off for Briggs. Quint, how about for the Cavaliers?
Well, they have to find some answers on defense, and with Matt Lovejoy being out of the lineup, it's going to be challenging. They're giving up about a dozen goals in their last 3 games. Shooting hasn't been good lately either. 23% their last 2 losses. Get that to 30%, I think they have a chance.
Here is Briggs. Draws the slide. A new look for Virginia at the attack. Number 7, Connor English gets the start. That pass knocked down. Briggs was looking for Bocklett. Now a loose ball picked up by Ryan Flanagan, the senior captain out of West Islip, New York. So both teams have come up empty on their first trips on the offensive end. What are the keys to attacking the zone defense? What's the biggest difference between that and your normal man-to-man look?
Well, just like basketball, someone has to press a seam, whether it be from behind the net or up top, dodge the zone to draw 2 men, and then you beat it with ball reversal.
Virginia does not normally play zone, so it should be interesting to see how prepared for this North Carolina is.
Their defense is averaging, giving up over 11 goals per game over their last 3. You knew Dom Starsia would have to create a new wrinkle, whether it be a pressure defense or a zone. He's chosen to play zone in front of his senior goalie, Adam Gittleman.
Now Bitter being guarded by Ramel Bratton up top. Galasso looking to feed. He must have gone in the crease, so a turnover. Those are the kind of plays that plagued North Carolina a week ago at the Meadowlands against Johns Hopkins.
There are going to be 3 key individuals for North Carolina as they attack the Virginia zone defense. Galasso as a passer, Bitter as a guy who can draw 2, and then Marcus Holman as a wing shooter.
So number 1, Shamel Bratton is on the field after being suspended a week ago against Maryland, his 2nd suspension of the year. He also missed the Stony Brook game. He missed the first shift. So Shamel and Ramel, twin brothers from Huntington, New York on Long Island, number 1 and number 3. This is Ramel with the ball. They go behind. This is Steele Stanwyck, the quarterback of the offense. One of the best attackmen in the country. He made Hopkins pay this week, and you see there, Quint, he is not 100%. He's been dealing with a bruised ligament, not practicing. Bruised ligament in his foot. So now Chris Bocklett being guarded by the short stick. Gives it up top. Catch made by Stanwyck. Here's Shamel with time, room. He cranks it up and scores. I'm back.
Very patient possession by Virginia. Stanwyck, the leader behind, thinks about a wing shot, dishes it up top, little give and go. And look at Carolina's defense just slough in too much on that pass. Shamel to Ramel, back to Shamel. And for only the 4th time in their career, they assist each other. They've scored a combined 142 goals, the Bratton twins have. And only 4 times they've enjoyed the assist together.
Keenan with the quick face-off win. Going right down, Route 29, but Gittleman makes the save, his 2nd of the ball game. Shamel now has 126 career points, tying him with Chris Rotelli for 2nd all-time at Virginia. He's 2 away from tying his former teammate Brian Carroll at 128. This is Rob Emery, a freshman out of San Francisco, California, with the ball. Stanwyck being guarded by Charlie McComas. John Haldy gives it back to Emery. Emery sees the slide coming, and that pass gets knocked down by Flanagan. Flanagan very active here today. The long pass ahead to Golasso, and it goes in! Oh my, who gets the goal? Can you get an assist and a goal all at once? Somehow it skipped by Gittleman as he was expecting a quick shot from Golasso.
I tell you, Flanagan's got 2 ground balls already. Stick in the passing lane, he creates the turnover. He's got tremendous hands, dexterity, and he's an aggressive passer. Pushes this, and Gittleman just misplays that. Ball comes through as the goaltender. No reason to come out there and try to make a play on Golasso.
They'll take it. We're all even at 1. I don't know if that's a top 10 or not top 10. I'm not sure. Either way, certainly something unusual. Joe Bresci, just like he drew it up. So Keenan's won the first 2. Ince now out there for Virginia, and he wins it to himself. Face-off's always a game within a game and critical in this matchup.
R.G. Keenan's only a freshman, about 60% on the season. His numbers were higher early in the year. In the last 2 weeks, he has struggled against big-time competition. Challenge for him on his subpar days is to bat 40 or 50%. And I thought last week he kind of lost it mentally.
10 of 36 in his last 2 games. Before that, 68 going in. Before Maryland and Johns Hopkins, a couple of veteran in Holmes and Delente really went to work on the rookie.
And you pointed out Steele Stanwick's injury to his foot. If that's the case, this is a Virginia team that's going to rely 100% on midfield dodging.
Bachlet loses it, and Flanagan with another ground ball until Ramel Bratton knocks it away. Golasso comes up for the North Carolina ground ball. Here is Bitter. See, they're letting him go behind, not coming out on him. They set up that zone defense, it looks like, again.
It's a Carolina team last week coming off a 1-goal loss to Johns Hopkins. A game they really had every right to win. Sloppy turnovers, a couple mental mistakes.
Here's Bitter on the wing, being guarded by the freshman Scott McWilliams, number 27, out of Mountain Lakes, New Jersey. Here's Holman. He draws Briggs.
Virginia now in a man-to-man defense, so Dom Starr just switching things up.
Jimmy Dunster, the talented midfielder out of Greenwich, Connecticut, gets a step on Chamel and goes behind. Dunster gets it back and goes righty. Gittleman makes the save and comes out and lays the wood. Gittleman playing with a little chip on his shoulder after giving up that fluke goal. Now Chamel on the clear. Hutchins comes out and stops the ball. Feed inside, gets knocked down. Ryan Flanagan all over the place with the stick. That's picked up by Jordan Smith. The 3rd turnover of the game for Virginia.
A couple of weeks ago, we got to watch Virginia at Johns Hopkins on ESPNU. A similar start to the ball game. First 5 possessions, not much productivity, bad shots, unforced errors, sloppy stick work.
This is Will Campbell giving it up to Golasso. 2 of the many freshmen that will play for the Tar Heels in this one. Very young team, talented but young. This is Mark McNeil out of the Baltimore area. Now Pat Foster, another freshman with the ball.
Virginia back to zone.
Here's McNeil taking a run at Ramel. Now Bitter gets above goal line extend, looking to feed, spinning it around.
I'd rather see the ball with Bitter, 4 in blue, or Golasso, 34 in blue.
Feed inside, catch couldn't be made, but McNeil there for the backup. There's the first stall warning of the game. North Carolina has to keep it in the box or it'll be a turnover. Restraining area. Bitter goes back to Golasso. Golasso looking inside again, goes up top to McNeil. He fires. Almost had another fluke goal as that shot hit McWilliams, caromed right to Gittleman's stick. So now Chris LaPierre on the clear. You don't see too many people run right by Mark McNeil. But LaPierre did just that on the clear. Emery doesn't see Hunt behind him. But they get it back. So, Quinn, I think we're batting 1,000. Once again, when we thought a high-scoring affair, it's 1-1 with almost 5 minutes to play in the first quarter.
This game should open up, but Virginia playing the zone defense will really slow it down and keep that goal total probably in single digits.
Here's Briggs. Guarded by Hunt. Shake and bake, draws the slide. Emery moving it around to Haldy. Now English. That pass gets knocked down again. Virginia, coached by the Hall of Famer Dom Starsia, 4 wins away from passing the former Army and Washington and Lee coach Jack Emmer as the winningest coach in Division I college lacrosse. 222 wins here at Virginia. 3 NCAA championships, 12 visits to championship weekend for Coach Starsia. Here's Stanwyck being guarded by McComas. 2 players who know each other very well, going back to high school in Baltimore. Stanwyck looking to get inside, draws the double from Flanagan. Emery's open if they get it to him. Good recovery defense by North Carolina. Now Haldy. Smith comes out on the ball.
Excellent recovery, especially since this field is wet, and defensively on your approach, you can't be over-aggressive because you'll end up planning in front of the ball carrier and losing your footing.
Now a stall warning on Virginia, as the Cavaliers have taken just 1 shot in this quarter, and that's the goal. And John Haldy steps out of the box, so another unforced error in this first quarter.
This is a Carolina team that's gotten off to some horrendous starts so far this season.
Here's a shot. Gittleman got a piece of that one. McWilliams wins the race to the end line. Good hustle by the freshman.
I love the bounce shot on this natural grass surface that's semi-wet. McWilliams sees the rebound go off of Gittleman and out of bounds.
Joe Bresci in his 3rd year at his alma mater. All-American defenseman for the Tar Heels in the late 80s, early 90s.
Father of 4 daughters, celebrating his birthday today. He gets home, there'll be a big cake.
He would love to celebrate it with his first career win as a coach against Virginia, 0-5. He was at Ohio State for 11 years. Haldy draws the slide. Quick ball movement. There's a... But Chanel was going to let one fly, put it back in the holster, and moves it along. Stanwyck has a step. Nice pass. What a save by Restivo. Highway robbery. That one was all but in, but Restivo with the denial on the doorstep. But the Tar Heels give it right back.
Virginia's best offensive possession, multiple passes. Bratton to Stanwyck, who presses the corner. He's double-teamed. McComas is ball watching, and how did Haldy not put that ball by Restivo? Talked about his quick feet, his quick hands, and his balance. Not the biggest goalie, but this kid can move on the line, playing with a lot of confidence now in his 4th ball game. 9
saves a week ago in the loss to Johns Hopkins.
He reminds me of a featherweight boxer. You know, the way he dances, and he just always looks like he's quick, light, floats.
Under Armour All-American at Ward Melville High School on Long Island, which is the equivalent of a McDonald's All-American in basketball. Started his collegiate career at Penn State and transferred to Chapel Hill. Here's Briggs being guarded by Creighton. Briggs draws the double, but the pass got knocked down. Jamel Bratton wants the ball up top. The Bratton twins and Briggs are your midfielders. Here's Ramel with a step down, but he loses it before the shot. North Carolina with the ground ball pickup.
Carolina doing an excellent job on denying Virginia's second chance opportunities. And what I mean by that is anytime the ball has hit the carpet, they've been there, clean it up, get it out of your zone so you don't have to play so much defense. Flanagan has been everywhere on loose balls, Burns as well.
Both coaches were hoping to be more crisp on the offensive end this week, and it has not happened yet in this first quarter. Just 2 goals between teams number 8 and number 9 in the country.
The more I see the ACC this year, the less I believe that the national champion will come out of the conference, and the less I believe that there'll be multiple ACC teams in championship weekend at M&T Bank Stadium, Memorial Day.
Last year there were 2, Duke and Virginia. Virginia's made it to 3 straight Final Fours. Now Bitter being patient. Sizing up the zone. Jumping in now, man-to-man look, and there's another stall warning on the Tar Heels.
Lacrosse does not have a shot clock. But after about 45 seconds of standing around, these refs will force Carolina now to keep the ball in the offensive box. What does that mean? Well, they can continue to stall if they want. That's
supposed to entice the defense to come out and put more pressure on them because they're played in a confined area. Now 15 seconds. North Carolina going to hold for 1. This is Pat Foster. He'll go with 10. Here's Bitter. Shot and a goal. No, wrong side of the net. Now with that will do it. And a flag comes down. We have a call right here at the end of the quarter. Someone might be a man up to start the second quarter. There's a call against North Carolina. So after 1, we're tied at 1. Number 8 against number 9. This one's not going to the Hall of Fame. They'll pick it up when we return. Welcome back to Charlottesville as we are set for the start of the second quarter. And this community was devastated 11 months ago with the death of women's lacrosse player Yardley Love, men's lacrosse player George Hughley, charged with their murder. He has been in a jail since. He is scheduled to have a hearing, a preliminary hearing, Monday at 1 p.m. That hearing was initially scheduled for last June, but now it is set to take place this Monday at 1 p.m. here in the Charlottesville area.
From a lacrosse standpoint, an impending storm, if the trial does take place during lacrosse season, and the amount of distractions that are going to be thrown the way of the Virginia Cavaliers, it's going to be a difficult situation for Coach Starsha and his seniors to manage through.
Now Virginia on the field with an extra man opportunity. Keep an eye out on number 10, Chris Bocklett. Bocklett inside looking to get open. This is Stanwyck. Now Stanwyck will let it fly. The worm burner, not on cage.
From the outside, Stanwyck will use the earth, so to speak, knowing that he doesn't have the velocity to overpower Estevo up top.
This is Matt White. We're all even. So here's Emery. Bocklett being guarded by Flanagan. Flanagan shown in that first quarter why many believe he is the best defenseman in the country. This is Shamel Bratt taking a run to his right. He likes that rollback, and Carolina's ready for it. Flanagan comes out and guards him. There's a shot by Emery. Here's Stanwyck on the restart. Back to his left. Comas right there on his hands. Stanwyck looking for an angle. Comas doesn't give it to him. Schnell and Flanagan, they've been going at it against each other since 7th grade. Ryan Flanagan telling us this week, couple of Long Island residents. There's Matt White.
Nice defense by Carolina. Virginia probing on the perimeter. Can't penetrate.
Very rare and unusual to see Virginia forced to be this patient, to not have a matchup they can exploit. Here's the two-man game.
Watch the backside.
White feels the double and gives it up to Stanley. Stanley to Emery. Chamel's open. Feed inside, catch made. What a save by Restivo on the quick shot by Bockley. He has two, and both have been spectacular. Now Bitter the other way with a step on McWilliams. Gives it up to Golasso.
Left side of the screen. Bockley catch, backhanded shot. Restivo matches up. What I mean by that, he takes his stick head and matches it up with the stick head of the shooter, and that ball doesn't change levels. So Restivo's anticipation earns him that save.
This is Foster. Giving it up to Holman. Bitter being guarded by Chamel Bratton. Fans trying to get North Carolina going, the visitors. Foster.
Virginia
the switch.
In the zone.
That one hit the wrong side of the net. That was Dunster. So now Chamel in transition in the open field. Dunster shows off his speed as he gets back in transition defense.
Okay, this Virginia team leading the nation in scoring offense. Ground to a halt today. On the year, still haven't played their best game. And it's a team, visually, I'm not sure they're improving. We've gotten to watch the Cavaliers an awful lot. Saw them up at the Dome, took a lead, lost late. Saw them at Johns Hopkins take a lead and lost late. They've been unable to get defensive stops at key moments in the fourth quarter.
Good defense by Jordan Smith coming out on Ramel Bratton. Now here's Emery. Emery getting his hands free. Restivo saw it all the way. The outlet to Dunster. He's got a trailer in Staines. He finds the open man. Golasso cranks it up. Can't put it on cage. Good look from Dunster there to the freshman. Virginia takes a timeout on defense. Nicky Golasso couldn't bury that shot, so we remain tied at 1. We'll take a break, but when we return to Charlottesville, we'll take a look at some of the best players in the country. John Galloway made lacrosse history a week ago. Will his buddy in Central New York, Rob Pennell, win the Tewaaraton? That's when we come back to Virginia. Welcome back to Charlottesville. We're still tied at 1 in the second quarter. Time now to take a look at some of the best players so far 6 weeks in to the college lacrosse season.
Outstanding individual performers. John Galloway, two-time national champion, goalie for Syracuse, 52 career wins to set a record in that department.
Johns Hopkins back in the top 5 because of the play of the sophomore midfielder. John Rannigan had another good game last night.
I tell you, 6'3", 200-pounder, tough, and he can run.
The senior attackman for Maryland out of Manhasset, Ryan Young, had a big day against these Cavaliers.
Eyes up, 4 assists, the great distributor, the heart and soul, the spiritual leader of that Terrapin team.
Number 2, Notre Dame, the powerful midfielder Zach Brenneman, back feeling about 100% for the Irish right now.
Freight train alert, 6'3", 215, and he can fly. And Rob Pennell, the clear front runner at this point, leading the nation in points per game. Doing it himself from behind the goal with an array of dodges, making his teammates better. It's not close in my estimation right now as Pennell as the clear front runner. I like John Lade, the defender from Syracuse. If Chamel Bratton can continue to stay in the lineup and produce, I think he'll be a finalist. And Brian Karolounis and Jeremy Boltis, Villanova and Army, 2 guys from some unsung teams who are having outstanding seasons.
And Pennell and Lade could be matched up against each other in the near future.
Tuesday night, Syracuse and Cornell. John Lade injured his ankle last Sunday. He did practice on Thursday and Friday, so it looks like he will be available later this afternoon on ESPNU.
They play Princeton in New Jersey at 4 o'clock on ESPNU as they look to improve to 9-0. Here's Holman to Hutchins. Gittleman, did that sneak in? No, Gittleman makes the save. His 6th of the ball game.
It's a superb job by Gittleman, and then the referees to crash that goal line to make sure the ball didn't roll over.
The 3 officials here, Tom Abbott, William Kelly, and John West.
How good has Adam Gittleman been today? How good has Stephen Restivo been today? Both extremely sharp.
Here's Briggs. Mark Staines comes out on him. Ramel Bratton gets a shot off. How did that one not go in? Restivo must have gotten just enough, or did the earth do it? Now Staines looking for Bitter. Staines has a goal against Maryland, but he gives it up to Galasso. And Galasso doesn't force it.
Okay, that shot for Virginia, it had Restivo toast, it had him beat. Ball skims off this wet grass. His stick wasn't on it, but it hit him off the midsection.
That Gittleman goal, really a fluke goal. Skipping past Nicky Galasso. Gittleman was coming out to stop Galasso, but Ryan Flanagan will get the goal. Now with under 9 minutes to play, North Carolina looking for its 2nd goal. Not the offensive performance we were expecting, to say the least.
Virginia playing without starter Matt Lovejoy, done for the year with shoulder injury and surgery.
That pass gets knocked down. Gittleman picks it up. Now he's out of the crease. Gittleman leading the break. He's got Clements on his right. Gittleman way out of the crease, gives it up. Now he's got to run all the way back, so they're going to have to put the brakes on offensively.
By rule, lacrosse, it's 10 on 10. You always have to have 4 players back in your defensive zone. It can be any 4 players. The defenders with the long pole or goaltenders are free to cross the midfield line as long as someone stays back for them.
Now Stanwick taking a long run at McComas. Gives it up to Ramel Bratton. He draws the double team. And there's a flag. Shamel Bratton fires, but not on Cage. So Marcus Holman is hurt and going to the penalty box.
So this was an awkward collision where Holman is down and in pain, guilty of a illegal hit.
You cannot hit from behind, especially when the player has the ball, as Joe Bresci comes out to take a look at his star sophomore. And this is a team point that cannot afford another injury. Already been decimated by injuries.
Especially at the midfield. Take another look. Shamel to Ramel twisted his left ankle. This will be a push or a hit from behind, or even a tripping violation.
So the extra man unit back out there for Virginia. Here's Stanwick. Gets it to Bachlet, and this time he buries it. His 11th extra man goal of the season gives Virginia the lead.
Fans finally with something to cheer about. This is a Cavalier extra man unit, #1 in the nation at 55%. It's an area of the game this year that Virginia has been spectacular. The specialty situations, they are plus 19 coming into play today in specialty situations. Bachlet keeps it simple from the inside, and he and Stanwick are certainly on the same page with that symbiotic relationship.
Big words. A year ago, as a sophomore, Bachlet had 53 goals, the second most in a season in Virginia history. Doug Knight put up 56. Ince wins it back to LaPierre.
Extra man opportunities are kind of like free throws in basketball. From a team standpoint, it can get a team's rhythm and flow going. Like a basketball player, when he goes to the line, he can get hot, he can get a shot going.
Virginia goes back to work on the offensive end. This is John Haldy. Mark Cochran, number 41, is out there at the attack. Stanwick forcing the issue, loses his footing, and pays for it on the double team. Ground ball squirting out. We have a call.
Take big crease violation against Virginia. Cochran's got to evacuate that area when Stanwick curls towards him, because Cochran's man doubled down. like you see in basketball all the time. If you dodge underneath a perimeter defender, he's just going to step to the inside and double team.
It's a free double team. The man he's guarding is no longer a threat.
The rules offensively, when you're adjacent and the man dodges towards you, you got to get through or fade away.
This is Michael Burns on the clear. See how Coach Bresci adjusts now with Holman nicked up at the ankle. It's Hutchins, Dunster, and Foster, along with Colosso, Wood, and Bitter. Quint, what does North Carolina have to do offensively to get going? Just the one goal, which was a fluke in transition.
They've gotten some decent looks. Gittleman has been outstanding as a team. They're shooting 10% right now. I want to see the ball behind the net attacking this zone. With Bitter pushing aside and then throwing the ball back behind the goal to Colosso, who can then be the distributor.
Here's Hutchins.
Losing Holman hurts. He's their best mid-range shooter.
Foster couldn't connect on the quick stick inside, but Wood is there to keep the possession alive. Here's Colosso.
Dunster is their best outside shooter from 13 to 16 yards. Holman is their best shooter from 8 to 12 yards.
Here's Bitter. More of an attacker.
We got 3-on-2.
Dunster with the left. Shoots it wide. ESPN's coverage of Major League Baseball continues this Sunday and Monday nights. First on ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball, it's one of the sport's greatest rivalries as the Red Sox will host the Yankees. Then on ESPN's Monday Night Baseball, the Rays and B.J. Upton head into Fenway. Major League Baseball on ESPN Sunday and Monday night. Red Sox finally breaking through with a victory yesterday against the Yankees.
Too often offenses get passive against the zone. You still have to dodge somewhere. Someone's got to step into a crease and draw two and then get some ball reversal where you can outflank the offense or jam the ball inside.
Here's Colosso. Feed inside. That got knocked down. Clements. You hear the fans now saying, keep it in. Bitter back to his right. Gittleman makes the save. Foster can't put the rebound in, and he went into the crease. 7 saves for Adam Gittleman. Coach Starcher was very complimentary of his senior goalie this week when we talked to him.
Gittleman coming in off of back-to-back games where his save percentage was less than 50%, but very comfortable on this field. 27-3 as a starter on his home turf.
Another player falls down. A damp, raw day here in Charlottesville. Chamel loses his man. Can't put it on cage. It'll start with Cockerton. Under 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. A defensive battle, a pitcher's duel, if you would, between number 8 and number 9. Here's Briggs looking to force the issue. Bachler couldn't put the quick stick in. Tough pass to handle, and he goes in the crease.
Been strictly a half-court style game because of Virginia's zone defense. Carolina has had a couple transition opportunities, but no stone-cold fast breaks. When you think of the ACC lacrosse, you think of up-tempo, the best athletes in the country, bigger, faster, stronger, who typically play aggressive perimeter defense, which leads to entertaining helter-skelter lacrosse. Today, not the case. This is strictly half field, 6-on-6. We try, and the opponent gets their shot at it.
Coach Bresci wants to dot the I's and cross the T's on offense, down by 1 with just over 3 minutes to play. When we come back to Klockner Stadium, we're going to take a look at some of the top plays of the season. Marasco feed inside. That could be a play of the day nominee. Marasco to Keogh. One for the highlight reel. Welcome back to Charlottesville. The Tar Heels looking to get something going on the offensive end as they trail 2-1 with just over 3 minutes to play. Now let's take a look at the top plays of the college lacrosse season so far. Feed inside, catch made, Dusko dead. One of the more creative players on the squad comes through there. Now Ramel Bratton standing still though, can't get anything. Splits the double team, still has it. What a goal for number 3. Behind the back, put that one on the highlight reel. The ankle breaking move from Bitter again, the spin. Oh my gosh! There's a top 10 nominee for you. Billy Bitter going through about 3 defenders. Marasco feed inside. That could be a play of the day nominee. Marasco to Keogh, one for the highlight reel. LaPierre doesn't get picked up. Did that one go through the net? Yes, it did. LaPierre rips the net, literally. And we'll have more exciting lacrosse action coming up on the ESPN networks this weekend. The 2 top teams in the country on display starting at 4 o'clock with Syracuse and Princeton.
Tomorrow, Georgetown travels to South Bend, Indiana to play Notre Dame, undefeated Fighting Irish. After this week, there are 4 weeks to go in the regular season. This is a great time of year in college lacrosse. College basketball is finally over. The leaves are on the trees. The weather's getting nice. The fans come out of hibernation.
Where's the weather getting nice?
Oh, it's cold today. Oh, that's false advertising on the 60-degree temperatures here in Charlottesville.
So North Carolina with the ball, but without number 1, Marcus Holman, icing his ankle on the bench.
Virginia will stay zone. Their goalie's on fire. Adam Gittleman playing just an outstanding game between the pipes.
Made 7 saves already. Golasso from outside. Too easy for Gittleman.
Too easy.
LaPierre, the football player, makes the catch, gives it up to Clements. Clements is going to shoot. Locklet there for the backup.
Clements, a former midfielder, summoned into Dom Star's office in January. Said, son, we're changing your position. You're playing defense. And we have seen him. Clements loves to push the rock.
Joe Bresci, for the 3rd straight week, burns his timeouts. He's taken one on defense. We have a timeout on the field at Klockner Stadium. Virginia with a 1-goal lead.
They start carrying up those.
We'll be back to Klockner right after this as Dom Starja gets his offense going. Virginia with the ball in a 1-goal lead with 2:35 left to play in the first half. And coming up, ABC's NBA Sunday Showcase continues with the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference. At 1 Eastern, Derrick Rose and the Bulls take on Dwight Howard and the Magic. Then at 3 Eastern, Paul Pierce and the Celtics head to Miami to face LeBron James and the Heat. The NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC begins at 12:30 with Buick Regal NBA Countdown. So John Haldy will start the Virginia offense. Quint, what do you think Coach Bresci, the message was on that second quick timeout on the defensive end?
I think the message, first of all, they come out in their man-to-man defense. And Carolina's a team that can show you different looks. They may switch out to a zone here, and they do.
This is Nick O'Reilly with the ball.
So they show man and then switch to a zone.
Now Stanwick has Restivo and McComas caught up.
Restivo should just step out here and play him, and McComas has got to recover.
And McComas does. Emery gets his hands free. That's Briggs with a fastball. It's 3-1 Virginia.
Carolina may have outsmarted themselves defensively, switching from a man to a zone. Restivo out of the goal. McComas bails him out. And then Briggs finds the soft corner right there and beats Restivo top shelf. Difference in this ball game right now. Adam Gittleman, Virginia's goalie.
Briggs out of Rhode Island. His father grew up on Long Island and started the youth league in Rhode Island when they moved there, so he started playing a little bit earlier than most people in that state, which is probably why he's the second best player to come out of the Ocean State. Chris Rotelli, the Tewaaraton Trophy winner here at Virginia, probably the best.
Breakthrough year for Briggs. Lightning fast in the open field. One of the fastest players in Division I lacrosse. After injury-plagued freshman and sophomore season, it's great to see Colin Briggs producing.
So now on a little bit on a roll, Coach Starsier wants to take a timeout to take advantage of the possession with 1:51 left. Coming up on the Warrior halftime report, we'll have a Warrior Pro session on attack dodges with Quentin Matt Danowski, the star of the Long Island Lizards. We'll have a preview of the weekend games, Notre Dame and Syracuse, the two undefeateds left in action this weekend on ESPNU, and highlights and stats from the first half of this one. So both teams now out of timeouts for the final 1:51 of the first half.
Get out!
As we mentioned, foreign territory for these Virginia Cavaliers. Last week, at home against Maryland, no Shamel Bratton, and Maryland went to work.
Ramel Bratton, left-handed, gets off to a good start, but Nico Amato, Maryland's goalie, would seal the deal. Cummings with 4 goals. Ryan Young from behind the net picked apart the Virginia defense. And the Terrapins, it was gut check time for Maryland. They answered, played with a lot of emotion, played very physical. Looked like the Terrapins that we thought would emerge from day one this season.
It's interesting, you know, we go back to the Open. In the ACC, it seems like it's take your pick who's it gut check for every week. At the start of the season, Duke loses to Penn, and you go, how'd that happen? Then they right the ship. You say, what's wrong with North Carolina? They win at Maryland. Now Maryland wins at Virginia, so it's Virginia's gut check time.
Yeah, and right now, it's amazing. 2 weeks ago, I'd have said Maryland's at the bottom of the ACC pile. Right now, I like Maryland more than any team in the conference, quite honestly. And the last time an ACC team did not make championship week in the Final Four was 2004. Navy played the championship game against Syracuse. Johns Hopkins was in the semis that year, and Princeton also. It's been a while. This is not a strong year for the ACC conference.
Just 2 out-of-conference losses a year ago. Already 7 this year. Here's Shamel Bratton. Flanagan backs up. Uses the pick for the long shot. 90 seconds left in the half. Virginia holds on to the ball. This is O'Reilly being guarded by the short stick. Cross cage feed. What a pass and a goal! A gutsy pass, and Stanwyck was there to cash in.
When we asked Dom Starsier about Steele Stanwyck, he said feet, hands, and eyes. This is a case where he used his head. Sees his teammate, and McComas chases him behind the goal. Stanwyck just took a step, and that's the advantage that he picked up on that front swing.
He is our Select Spiders player portfolio out of the Baltimore area. The quarterback, the conductor of the symphony. He now has 2 assists and a goal in this one.
Eamon, we always talk about when your defender stares at the ball, it's a great time to cut to the goal, to change your positioning. When you see that label or the number on the back of the helmet, the defender doesn't have his head on a swivel. A great time to cut.
Here's Clements. Gives it up. Stanwyck again. Restivo ready for it this time. Loose change, not picked up. Restivo's 5th save. Now unsettled opportunity, but Restivo comes out and picks it off, but cannot make the pass with under a minute to play. Galasso comes out. He's got an open man. There's a quick shot and a goal. Carolina answers in transition. It's Michael Burns, the co-captain.
Tell you what, a goal that starts with an errant pass by the Carolina goalie. Turnover, Virginia. Long pass rolls through. What I love about Golasso is the ball is never stagnant in his stick. He scoops it and moves it onto a teammate. Hot potato lacrosse, and Burns nearly one-touches that, and I think he caught Gittleman. Not 100% ready for that shot.
His first goal of the year, he had 7 a year ago. So, you know, the Tar Heels just needed to fall behind. You know, that's their MO so far. Ince starting to dominate Keenan at the X. But Flanagan keeps the ball alive, so Keenan has it in transition. Keenan takes a shot and blows it past Gittleman. All of a sudden, it's a 1-goal ball game.
Strategy in transition on defense is clear for Dom Starsia. They're going to let R.G. Keenan carry in and take that 10-yard shot. Off the face-off, this becomes a 50-50 ground ball that happens to kick forward to Keenan. He's off to the races, sensing the trail check. He lets it rip, but you see Virginia's defense, they lock down low on Golasso and Bitter, and they don't slide upfield and challenge Keenan.
So after being stuck on 1 for what felt like eternity, they score 2 in 12 seconds. Now, Burns out there to give Keenan a rest after the run. Clements there for the ground ball. So Virginia looking to regain the momentum heading into the locker room in the final 30 seconds of the first half. Here's Ramel Bratton. So a late flurry gets things going. Chamel now over to Briggs. 15. Briggs shaking and baking, breaking ankle, shoots and scores! Virginia doesn't take long to answer.
Wake-up call for this game. This is why lacrosse continues to grow across the country. These fans come to their feet. The excitement of the last minute. Briggs, we talked about his blinding speed. Chop, 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 boom. Ankle breaking moves. He's a natural right-handed player, but he switches to his left. Shake and bake. Restivo comes off that inside pipe, and like hockey, a goalie wants to take away the near side. Briggs having an excellent afternoon.
We have 1 goal left in the first half with 9.6 left. Keenan against Ince. Violation. So Keenan will get a chance. Here come the Tar Heels. They pick him up. Golasso to Wood. Bitter with 3 seconds. Bitter's gonna... Ooh, the scooch almost went in. But a late flurry to end the first half as things have finally come alive. 5 goals in the last minute and 58 seconds. Our score here at halftime, Virginia 5, North Carolina 3. Coming up after these messages, stay tuned for the Warrior Halftime Report. We've come alive in Charlottesville. Welcome to the Warrior Halftime Report here at Faulkner Stadium. After the first 30 minutes of action, Virginia leads North Carolina 5-3. Now let's watch as Quint and Major League Lacrosse star attackman Matt Danowski of the Long Island Lizards show us the art of the attack dodge in this Warrior Pro session.
This Halftime Report is presented by Warrior. All hail. And now, a Warrior Pro session with Quint Kesnick.
Attacking the goal from behind, the ability to beat your defenseman and generate a high percentage shot. Running past your defender and getting to the goal is a science. It requires speed, power, precision, and a strategic plan. Consistently take the pole to the rack, and you will be a superstar. Understanding your options is a prerequisite to becoming an unstoppable force. We're joined by Matt Danowski, Tewaaraton Trophy-winning attackman and professional attackman. Matt, when you're pressing the goal from behind, what are some keys?
Well, what I like to do when I'm behind the cage, if I have a step in my defenseman, I like to dip my inside shoulder kind of buried into him so I can get 2 extra steps, get myself in front of the cage, turn the corner, and I'll be able to shoot with the whole 6x6.
That's a move of speed and power and then protecting your stick. But typically, defenders will do a better job than what I just did.
Absolutely here. Now, if I can't turn the corner, the stick's upfield, I want to take my defender to 5-and-5. All right, this is a very good spot in the field for an attackman because you can see the whole field and you're dangerous here. Now, when I get here, I'm going to read your body language to dictate what I do offensively.
Okay, so if you give me a reaction, I'll probably...
So if I'm right here, maybe I'll take one big step to the sidelines. Hopefully you bring your stick over, rocker step to the middle of the field, and get my shot off in front of the cage.
Rocker step creates the windshield wipe goal for you. What are some other things you can do?
Right, so if you're playing good defense here, maybe I'll use your momentum against yourself. I'll push into you so you push me back out, right to my step away shot, pivot off that inside foot, and get my hands free.
It's a fadeaway jump shot. Let's see that one more time. So you're initiating contact with me to create separation.
Lean into you. Hopefully you push me out right to the sidelines, right where I want to be. My stick and step to the sideline. I change hands out here, and I get my shot off.
What is one pro-level tip that a young attackman can benefit from?
Well, what a young attackman needs to learn is that you don't have to beat your man to score a goal. If someone's playing good defense on you, and you're around them, all you need to do is get your hands free. So maybe right here again, I can just step away, use you as a screen, and get my shot off that way.
So you create separation to free up your hands.
Exactly. Just like a fadeaway jumper in hoops, all you really need to do is get some separation, get your hands free. You don't got to beat them by 5 yards.
You're a young attackman dodging from behind the goal. Get to high percentage areas, and you will score a ton of goals like Mac.
Welcome back to the Warrior Halftime Report. The first 2 quarters here at Klockner Stadium are in the books between number 8 North Carolina and number 9 Virginia. There are only 2 undefeated teams remaining in Division I college lacrosse, and both are in the Big East. Number 1 Syracuse, number 2 Notre Dame. They are on a collision course to meet on April 30th, but first both are in action on ESPNU this weekend. It starts later today at 4 from Princeton as the Tigers host number 1 Syracuse, and then a Big East showdown as the Hoyas visit South Bend. Georgetown against number 2 Notre Dame Sunday at noon on ESPNU. When we return to Charlottesville, highlights and stats from an entertaining first half between the Heels and Cavaliers.
2 free tickets to home men's lacrosse and ACC.
Welcome back to Old Spice College Lacrosse from Klockner Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia. We are moments away from the start of the second half. Number 9 Virginia with the 2-goal lead on number 8 North Carolina. Eamon McEnany along with Quint Kesnick. And Quint, it took the teams a little bit of a while to get going, but finally some offense there at the end of the first half.
Wow, what a stagnant first part of that game. And then, boom, next thing you know, 5 goals, was it, in a 2-minute period? And that's what we expect out of ACC lacrosse when you have 2 athletic teams who can run up and down the field and create great scoring chances.
As we take a look at the highlights, it did not take Shamel Bratton long to announce his return to the lineup.
Left-handed, rips rope from about 10 yards. The assist from his twin brother Ramel, and then a fluky goal. Ryan Flanagan, the All-American defender from North Carolina. Headman pass to Nicky Galasso, and Adam Gittleman inexplicably came out of the goal to try to make a defensive check. But Gittleman has been outstanding. 8 saves and only 3 goals against.
And Steven Restivo making some spectacular ones as well as he denies Haldy right there on the doorstep.
Virginia started to make hay on offense. Stanwick's got a bunch of assists. Colin Briggs has a pair of goals. They would run their lead on this Stanwick goal to 4-1 and really appeared to be in control.
And Ince was dominant at the faceoffs in the second quarter, but good ground ball play by Flanagan to Keenan. And Keenan goes top shelf.
Virginia sagged in defensively. Briggs breaks ankles, beats Restivo to the near post, 5-3. Finished that second quarter with a flourish. Carolina only shooting 3 of 15 right now. Their zone offense has really needs improvement. And if you're Joe Bresci, that's what you focused on at halftime.
And you see there, the final 2 minutes was what we expected. 5 goals on 7 shots in the final buck 58. Take a look at our impact players. Billy Bitter, just 1 shot. Shamel Bratton with the first goal of the game. And Bitter's had these games so far this year where he sort of either is taken out or takes himself out.
Sometimes against the zone, he's not going to have the stone-cold dodging opportunities. I still think North Carolina has to press the goal from behind against the zone. Somebody's got to dodge to draw 2, and then you can outflank and beat them with ball reversal. Carolina has to be more selfish attacking Virginia's zone defense.
Ince, number 15, did a good job at the faceoffs in the second period, winning 4 of 6. After North Carolina won 2 of the first 3, but Keenan makes an adjustment. Keenan scores already. This time, Gittleman makes the save. Looking for Ince. He overshoots him. Ince can't come up with it. McComas does. Unsettled Lacrosse right now to start the second half. And McComas drops it off.
Carolina team now that's going to try to win this game without Marcus Holman. Or we'll see if Holman can make it back. He is on the sideline. Ankle injury in that second quarter.
And Virginia also playing without its top defender, Matt Lovejoy, out for the year. Shoulder surgery during the week. Placed in the starting lineup by Harry Previs. So now here is Galasso. This is Bitter.
Lovejoy's absence and 3 consecutive weeks have given up more than double-digit goals has led Virginia to play exclusively a zone defense this afternoon.
Here's Hutchins. Now Galasso spinning it around to Dunster. Here's Galasso from the point. Just wide. Galasso 500 career points in high school at West Islip, 4 state championships for Coach Scott Craig. Ranked as the top freshman by Inside Lacrosse. Here's Hutchins to Foster. Dunster back to Foster. He'll crank it up, and Gittleman goes down and gets it. Long rebound. Foster flips it to Bitter. Bitter with a shot. That one in. Good ground ball play by Foster on the rebound leads to a goal for Billy Bitter, and it's a 1-goal ball game.
You see Joe Bresci discussing the zone offense as he runs over to get his chalkboard. Bitter on the board. Nice possession. Foster, great overhand shot with a low location. Rebound leads to the scramble, and Bitter deflects that ball off of Gittleman's side and into the net. Foster, terrific job. You pointed it out. The way, if you can't scoop the ball, get it to an area where your teammate can. And that was a gutsy play as Foster was about to have his arm severed.
Virginia guilty there of being too eager to get out on the break. Get that transition pass that never came. So Keenan now wins it back to himself. So the rookie makes an adjustment at halftime.
That's something where R.G. Keenan is best when he does the pinch and pop technique and comes out the front. But occasionally he's got to humble himself and take the easy wins when it's given to him by clamping and going back into the defensive zone.
Keenan tutored at the faceoffs by Alex Smith, now of the Chesapeake Bayhawks and Team USA. Smith probably the greatest faceoff man in the sport. Started teaching R.G. in the 8th grade, so he went to one of my camps and never missed one. Kept showing up. Really dedicated to it. He's had some big ball games. 18 of 22 against Navy. That was really his coming out party. 3 games already this year with 18 face-off wins. A couple of 15 face-off wins in there already. He's one of several freshmen making an impact for Coach Bresci this year. Again, Carolina being patient, almost approaching this as a man up. Hutchins to Galasso. Galasso with time and room. Skip pass. Wood didn't like the shot. Now Bitter looking to feed. Wood will take it this time. That one hit a couple of pipes. Still loose. Dunster gets a couple of pops in there, but Malfors comes up with a huge ground ball. Dangerous pass, but Bratton is there. So now Ramel goes the other way. Dunster gets back. Ramel keeps coming. Not sure if that was a shot or a pass, but Restivo will take it. They got Wood wide open, but they can't see him. So they'll settle in on the clear.
The dichotomy of playing a zone defense is that your offense has to value possession a little more because you're sacrificing possession time. Virginia is when they play their zone D.
North Carolina in danger here of turning it over, and yes, they do. Stanwyck lobs it over Restivo, but he can't put it on the cage. Restivo can breathe a sigh of relief now. Here's McComas.
Left side of your screen, Restivo doesn't get enough air under it. Stanwyck gets the free shot. Oh, man. In hindsight, probably should have planted his feet and shot it hard.
Because for Steve-O, backpedaling is not going to stop a hard shot.
And you're going to be in your flow when you shoot it hard. You know, when you try to aim it and shoot it soft, you're going to make a mistake.
Here's Mark McNeil. Tries to get some fresh legs out there in the midfield. Will Campbell, 23, out there as well. Interference call off the ball.
Just amazing that Virginia's got to go to a zone defense today without Matt Love joining the lineup. And it's hard to fathom a team that has always been built on great athletes, physical defense, guys who can run like gazelles in the perimeter. And what it'll do, it'll keep their games lower scoring. It'll keep their games close. It'll keep some inferior opponents in the ballpark with them down the road.
Up next for this Virginia team is Duke, which has owned Virginia of late. They will be on ESPNU. Duke today playing Denver on Long Island in a great atmosphere for the sport at Bethpage High School. A couple of native sons of the island, Bill Tierney and John Danowski, return with their top 10 programs. Here's Ramel Bratton taking a run at Mark McNeil. He's out there with Shamel Bratton and Colin Briggs. Here's Briggs. He has two already. Going right to the goal. He gives it up. Bachlet loses it. They said it was deflected. Flanagan must have knocked it down. Briggs taking a run at Campbell. Draws the slide, moves it to Bratton. He'll shoot it low and score. Ramel Bratton sneaks one past for Steve-O. It's 6-4 Virginia.
Talking to Coach Dom Starsia this week about Ramel Bratton, who so often and too often gets grouped with his twin brother Shamel by association. But Ramel, consistent year, extremely intelligent lacrosse IQ. He works off of Briggs's dodge to the net. His feet are in good shooting position before he catches that ball. Dom Starsia only had great things to say about Ramel in his senior season. This kid who can play defense, he gets ground balls, showing timely offensive skills this year.
So one of the savviest players he's ever coached. Keenan gets rid of it quickly, but Wood can't bring in the pass. Previs goes back to Gittleman.
Said Ramel has a real feel for in-game adjustments that may have to be made, whether they're defensive or offensive.
That pass sails on Malfris, so the Tar Heels get it right back. ESPN's coverage of Major League Baseball continues this Sunday and Monday nights. First on ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball, it's one of sports' greatest rivalries as the Red Sox will host the Yankees. Then on ESPN's Monday Night Baseball, the Rays and B.J. Upton head into Fenway. Major League Baseball on ESPN Sunday and Monday night. Tampa certainly not off to the start it was hoping for. Manny Ramirez retiring. It looks like it could be a long year for the Rays. Quick shot, Gittleman ready for the bouncer from Wood. Numbers here, but they can't bring in the pass. So another errant turnover by Virginia gives it right back to North Carolina.
Everybody!
11 turnovers now for Virginia. I thought it was interesting talking to Coach Starsia this week. We all thought defense was the problem coming off of the Maryland game, giving up 12 goals. But he seemed to be more concerned about the offense.
Which surprised me. Really, it did. I thought in that Hopkins game that we covered on ESPNU, I thought they had some sloppy turnovers. Their shooting wasn't great. They've made good goalies look exceptional over their last two losses. Nico Amato from Maryland, Pierce Bassett of Johns Hopkins. Virginia has 23% in their last two losses. On average, they're a 33% shooting team.
Saying we are built to score goals, and that's what this team feeds off of. And right now, they're just not getting it done on the offensive end. Looking to avoid their first three-game losing streak since 2004. Two-goal lead here against North Carolina. Here's Hutchins over to Foster. Galasso coming around. Feet up top. Extra pass. Shot too high.
Snap sloppy ball work. Terrific zone offense.
Thomas Wood's getting some looks here in the second half. This is Bitter.
Where they miss Holman on that right wing. 20 goals, ankle injury earlier in this game. He's standing on the sideline in crutches.
Foster moving it around. Now Golasso. He shoots this time. So Wood will go get it and restart. North Carolina just 4 of 22 in the shooting department. 18%.
Looks like Virginia's switching back to a man-to-man defense. Fundamentals of lacrosse defense almost exactly the same as basketball, except in lacrosse you have the added element of attacking on offense from behind the goal.
Here's Golasso. The coach says he needs to dodge to score, not just dodge to feed. Going above. Good defense by Clemens, pushes him back. Now Dunster takes a run at Ramel, moves it over to his right, can't put it on Cage. Bitter there for the backup.
Dunster been very quiet today. 7 goals in his last 3 games. Better suited to attacking a man-to-man defense than he is with the complexities of his own defense.
Adjusting to life as the guy drawing the pole, you only have 4 long sticks on the defensive end, so that 4th defender usually goes to the top midi. Last year it was Sean Delaney, and Dunster could float out and take advantage of that. Here he goes at Clemens. Dunster, time, room, top shelf. It's a 1-goal ball game. Quiet no more, Quint.
Keel's feeling much more comfortable throwing the ball through the Virginia zone defense in the skip pass. You see Dunster finds the lane. Golasso loves to throw that ball right through the heart of the defense. You can hear Gittleman saying, sticks up, but that's too easy. Ball reversal. Dunster steps in, and he can bring the heat. Dunster from Golasso.
Nicky Golasso now setting a new North Carolina record for assists in a season from a freshman, by a freshman. Did that earlier in this ball game. It was LaPierre. Comes up with a ground ball and runs over Keenan, but loses it. So the shocker gets shocked by the rookie.
Well, and Carolina, the emotion, big play on their sideline. Freshman Keenan taking on one of the best athletes in Division I lacrosse. LaPierre wins the battle, but the ball rolls out of bounds. And when are they going to call a helmet-to-helmet contact on the offensive player who initiated contact with his head?
You certainly heard that one, absolutely. Similar play happened last week in the Maryland game on LaPierre. He was drilled helmet-to-helmet, but no call. But that one, you heard it on the replay. LaPierre, a great football player in New Jersey, high school. Shawnee High School, New Jersey Shore. So again, Carolina feeling comfortable on the offensive end against the zone. Here's McNeil. Creighton. Will Campbell, 23, your third midfielder, playing inside with Thomas Wood. LaPierre breaks his stick. Can they take advantage? Can't play without a stick. McNeil from up top. Gittleman ready for the save. He's got Ramel Bratton ahead of him, and now he gets it. So that was a big save for Gittleman, as it was basically 6 on 5. He now has a dozen. Feels like a long time ago when the last time Virginia had an actual offensive possession. Briggs, Ramel, and Chamel are your midfielders. O'Reilly, Stanwyck, and Bachlick at attack. This is Bachlick. He's been quiet. He has 1. Ramel draws the pole. Flanagan goes out on Chamel. Neal guard Briggs. Putting short stick on O'Reilly at attack. Briggs draws the double. Stanwick loses it momentarily. Now up top. Time, room, extra pass. What a save by Restivo! Virginia did everything right but score. Let's see if his sixth save is a two-goal swing.
Okay, that is uncharacteristic of Bachlet, not to change levels, finish from the inside. Credit Shamel Bratton with a totally unselfish dish down below. Bratton, every right to shoot it, but unselfishly dishes down below, and Bachlet is usually can't miss money in the bank from that range. Restivo, who is small in stature, and typically shooters will see a lot of goal up top.
Also feed inside. Wood gets his hands free, but only momentarily. Carolina starting to pick apart this zone defense. Gittleman's keeping him in the lead right now. Yard sale here at Charlottesville as Bratton loses his stick. Ramel takes a whack, no call. Bachlet comes up with the ground ball.
Great hustle by Bachlet.
Shamel being guarded by Foster, puts it in his right. That shot drilled his brother in the head. O'Reilly there for the backup.
Not a good matchup if you're North Carolina. You have Patrick Foster, who's a converted attackman. Didn't play an ounce of midfield at the high school level. He pecks his brother in the head. Shamel born 20 minutes before Ramel, twins.
On the cut, Briggs finishes. He's got the hat trick.
O'Reilly presses the corner. Briggs moving without the ball. That's the second time today that Virginia players off ball have come from X behind the net, caught a pass, and burnt Restivo from close range. Move without the ball. Good things happen.
Keenan can't pick up the ground ball, so it's still loose. Flanagan can't come up with it. Rivas knocks it ahead, but Flanagan there for North Carolina makes a long pass to his former high school teammate Galasso.
Okay, that's the best and most impressive part of Ryan Flanagan's game.
Galasso on the run, but Gittleman ready for the high-to-high shot. Gets it to LaPierre. LaPierre in the open field. Wood gives up on him and passes along. And Stanwick gets robbed by Restivo. We're going the other way. They got Wood wide open, but they can't see him again. This is Burns. He has one already. Now they put the brakes on, wait for Dunster and the other middies.
Okay, North Carolina shooting location. Not good. All up, stick side high on Gittleman.
1:15 left to play in the quarter. Teams have traded goals in this quarter. Does Carolina have one more in it in the final minute? Dunster checks the clock. Looks like Virginia's going man. Quint, where's the advantage? Who should initiate the offense?
Billy Bitter. Billy Bitter, if they're man, without Matt Lovejoy in the lineup, Virginia has nobody that can stand toe-to-toe with Bitter or Dunster.
There's Dunster being guarded by the freshman Bobby Hill. So North Carolina has to keep it in. Under 19. Here's Hutchins. Now Dunster. A long shot gets blocked. McWilliams with 11. He goes back to Gittleman with 9. Long pass and dangerous pass. The goal is wide open. Bitter. Does he beat Gittleman. Yes! A huge turnaround in the final 10 seconds of the quarter.
I tell you, clock and score management so critical. I love the play by Gittleman to support his defender. He comes way out of the net to be a help in the clearing game. But you got to know, this is not the time to make a risky crossfield pass. Picked off by Wood, empty net. Big turnaround with 1.8 to go in the third quarter.
So North Carolina will take it. Virginia got greedy on the clear. And the Tar Heels make them pay with 1.8 left to play. So that'll do it. Gittleman got burned at the end of the quarter, but he and Restivo playing very well. Between the pipes, number 9 and number 8. It's a one-goal game, the fourth quarter, when we return to Charlottesville. We told you North Carolina was a young team. That's just the halftime action there. The Storming Mustachios. And we had some youth lacrosse players take the field at halftime.
I tell you, Joe Bresci and Dom Stars, recruiting letters will be sent out right there. Never too early.
And with the postseason just 4 weeks away, Inside Lacrosse looks ahead to the road to the championship. It usually is a familiar road as rematches are par for the course in the NCAA tournament.
40% of NCAA playoff games are rematches.
So we take a look at the Inside Lacrosse media poll. The two top teams in the country on a collision course, both in the Big East. Virginia in foreign territory ranked at 9th.
Later up today, 4 o'clock on ESPNU, it's Syracuse and Princeton. To me, the key and the most interesting game this weekend is Denver and Duke from Bethpage, Long Island today.
And Notre Dame also on ESPNU this weekend. Tomorrow from Arlada Stadium, they host Georgetown. The Hoyas having their way with the Irish recently in that rivalry, winning 5 straight. LaPierre with the step. He gives it up. O'Reilly. Stopped cold by Restivo. And Staines picks up the ground ball. Should be interesting to see how Virginia responds from another fluke goal. Now the lead is down to 1. Here's Hutchins.
It's a Virginia team this year defensively that has not been able to make clutch defensive stops when the game's been on the line.
Here's Golasso. Williams goes out on him in a matchup of freshmen. Foster draws the pole. There's Dunster on Rommel. Up top. Hutchins has time and room but can't put it on cage. Here's Woods. Carolina is certainly playing more crisply on the offensive end in the second half. Bitter comes around. Oh, just misses. That was some great hesitation and patience by the senior out of Manhasset, New York. Golasso still has it. Hutchins in no hurry, now gives it up to Golasso.
Offensive coordinator Pat Myers orchestrating from the sideline. Definitely looks like the Heels know exactly what they want to do.
Dunster got a look just wide on the step down.
Much more organized, generating quality shot upon quality shot. It's just a matter of time.
Here's Golasso. That pass picked off by Rommel Bratton. There's that savviness and lacrosse IQ. Now he's in the open field. He has LaPierre. He keeps it himself, moves it to his left, high to high. End to end for number 3. It's a 2-goal lead.
evolution of the midfield position has led to specialists, guys who either play midfield defense or midfield offense. Romel's a throwback in that he's equally capable at both ends of the field. He snares the pass, he causes the turnover, showcases his jets. What a gorgeous right-to-left move. Romel is a natural right-hander. Shows his versatility, rips it left-handed. Too much speed, too difficult to stop in the transition opportunity.
Jim Muley, the head coach of the Long Island Lizards, loves seeing that on TV. He'll be playing for the Lizards this summer in Major League Lacrosse. Keenan wins it cleanly to himself. Good defense there, but a call made. Loose ball, Bush. Blake Riley.
So one thing Virginia has to adjust in the zone is they're a little soft on the ball. They're very condensed. They're not getting any ball pressure at all.
Wood.
He'd like to step out and get a stick in the gloves on the hands of the ball carrier.
Billy Bitter. Back to Galasso. Bitter with time and room. They left him alone. Gittleman ready for the bounce shot.
Statement save right there. 15th of the day. Bitter puts the ball on the ground. Bitter's not known for his velocity or the power in a shot, but that's a tough bounce shot from about 10 yards. Not only did Gittleman make the stop, he caught it and stared back at Bitter like, that's all you got?
Two guys who know each other very well, both Long Island residents.
Save on your left. Bounced effectively about a yard outside the crease, so you get that nice big hop. Use the earth. Gittleman right there.
Here's Hall with the pick from Stanley. So now Stanley being guarded by a short stick. He goes to the crease. Baldy to Briggs. Briggs being guarded by Foster. Briggs has 3 already. That shot drilled the defender. Number 5, Chris Hunt, limping off the field after he took that shot in the ankle. Now he rubs it off and tries to get open. He's got the ball right now.
So it's one thing when a goalie gets pegged with the ball, but you defenders, that's not part of the bargain.
That's part of the deal.
It'll leave a mark especially on a little cold day like today, like February. That ball absolutely stings. It's a
notice you made it to the mall at halftime. You got gloves.
Hard, heavy rubber ball.
Thanks for picking me up there. Hutchins. Now it's Carolina's turn to respond. This is Creighton. Dunston. Williams comes out on Dunston. Now they cut. Creighton on the step down. Takes a shot. Too high.
Like the offense. Who would have thought that zone defense would be one of the big storylines in the ACC this year? Carolina going zone, upsetting Maryland. Today, Virginia using the zone. This is a conference known for its quality of athletes. Bigger, stronger, faster. They get the pick of the litter nationwide, other than teams like Syracuse and Hopkins.
Galasso finds Creighton right on the doorstep. So Carolina executes against the zone to make it a 1-goal ball game. Creighton's 4th of the year.
Teams have been exchanging goals since halftime. The lack of ball pressure on the perimeter will eventually allow feeders golden opportunities. Look at Galasso. Nobody's on his hands. He can put that ball right on the sweet spot for Creighton. Virginia must turn up the heat on the perimeter if they're going to sit back in their zone.
Galasso now with 3 assists for Joe Bresci. Coach Bresci again looking for his first career win as a coach against Virginia, and we have a violation on Keenan as he and Benacasa get tangled up.
Yeah, the string from Keenan's glove is wedged in the helmet.
So Virginia gets the ball back. Flanagan comes out to guard Schimmel in the ball. Schimmel takes it right at him.
Schimmel wants his left hand.
This is Briggs. Feed inside, catch made. This time Bachlet sneaks it past Restivo. Back and forth, we continue to go. It's a 2-goal lead once again.
Briggs is becoming Virginia's most dangerous offensive player. Here he is, operating against the Carolina midfielder, throws the ball aggressively to the backside, and somehow Bachlet was able to get inside position.
Briggs with a 5-point effort so far.
Briggs 9-7 fourth quarter gives Virginia a 9-7 lead.
Benacasa wins it back to LaPierre. And now it's Keenan's time to make some more adjustments at the X. Now LaPierre in trouble in the double team, and he loses it to Flanagan. Flanagan looking for Restivo. He holds on to it.
Hey, Ryan Flanagan has had a very active and effective, productive game today. Carolina defender, wears 24 in the blue. Didn't think he was at his best last week against Johns Hopkins up in the Meadowlands. He's bounced back with an All-American-like performance today.
7th overall pick in the Major League Lacrosse draft by the Hamilton Nationals. Talking to him this week, he was well aware that he's never beaten Virginia in his career. The seniors certainly want to take care of that before they leave Chapel Hill. Proud program looking to make it back to championship weekend. Foster. That pass gets knocked down by Schimmel. Foster picks it up, but Bitter falls down. What an opportunity North Carolina could have had right there. Foster came up with the ground ball, but Billy Bitter slipped before he could make the catch. Giving it back to LaPierre in Virginia.
Carolina attacking the zone in a circle, 6-man circle. And because Virginia's playing more zone defense, Schimmel Bratton actually is getting a few more runs defensively. A very, very athletic play for him to reach into that passing lane, get his stick on the ball, and cause that turnover.
So now here's Briggs again, having a big day already. He's being guarded by Dunster, so he's going to go to the invert and attack from behind. That's a step. Now goes back. This is O'Reilly. O'Reilly sprints the goal line extended. Now goes back. Under 7 minutes to play. Virginia with the ball in the lead. O'Reilly on the pick, gets a ball and scores.
Pick rules in lacrosse identical to what they are in college basketball. You'll see Stanwyck set the pick, creates a matchup change and a step advantage, and O'Reilly turns the corner left-handed and beats Restivo to the near post again. So a gorgeous pick by Stanwyck causes defensive confusion.
So our first run of the second half as the teams stop trading goals gives Virginia a 3-goal lead again. Benacasa becoming a major factor at the X. Wins another one for Virginia. Gittleman over to Malthus. Didn't think we'd see a team hit double digits the way this one got going in the first quarter. Mel Bratton gets into the box and falls. holds onto the ball. Loses his shoe. Or maybe lost his glove. They call a whistle for him to go get his glove back?
Yeah. Well, safety.
Here's Chamel, guarded by Staines. Here comes the double. Feed inside, knocked down.
Ugly offense.
How patient can Carolina be on the defensive end, down by 3 with under 6 to play?
Got to step out, play the ball aggressively.
Riley draws the switch, so now Stanwick being guarded by the short stick. Chris Hunt. Stanwick cannot make the connection. McComas with the ground ball pickup. He's got Flanagan ahead of him. He gets it to him. Here's Flanagan in the open field. The extra pass to Creighton. One more to Wood, but he can't bring it in. Don't get opportunities like that too often in a game. Carolina needs a goal as we approach the 5-minute mark, and Joe Bresci wants to talk things over with a timeout. The Tar Heels down by 3. Want to cash in on the possession. We're back to Charlottesville after this. North Carolina moving closer to the edge of its 8th straight loss to Virginia as we take a look at the game track here on Old Spice College Lacrosse.
Take Colin Briggs pressing to the goal today. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists. I love his footwork. He's hit the short, choppy strides. He's got great traction on this wet field. He's been the best offensive player. Billy Bitter has 2 goals. Adam Gittleman. Virginia goes to a zone. They entrust their senior goalie to make the stops, and he has 15 stops.
All right, Coach Kesenick, you're in that huddle for North Carolina. What are you drawing up on the grease board?
I like the circle offense against the zone.
That pass gets knocked down by McWilliams, but Wood there to bail out Galasso. Here's Hutchins over to Foster. Another pass gets knocked down. Active sticks for Virginia right now. Foster looking to dodge. Wood. Now Galasso. Another pass deflected. Carolina comes crashing in, but it's Previs with the ground ball pickup.
A great defense. 3 times on that possession. Cavalier sticks up in the passing lanes. They dig in. They move their feet. That is how zone defense should look. Now's the time for Virginia to settle back on O here. It's easier to kill time at the 4-minute mark than it is at the 1:30 mark, so to speak. The defense isn't on full alert right now. You have the other team's offensive midfielders still on the field. This is an easy time for Virginia to kill a minute or 2.
Isn't normally in Virginia's DNA, but today they certainly will run some time off. This is LaPierre being guarded by Foster. He's behind the stand. Now they spin it around. There's Ramel back. Feed inside.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I told you it wasn't in their DNA.
What are you doing? You're up 3 goals with 3:30 to go.
Flanagan with another ground ball to Stain. Someone's going to have to go help him because he's in trouble.
Just open the door.
There's Bitter. Carolina gets the ball back. Bitter to Staines. He'll shoot and score, and a flag. Staines has his 2nd of the year. And now Carolina could have an extra man opportunity after the goal. So just when you think Virginia's going to salt this one away, they give it right back.
Absolutely mind-boggling. You see the call being made by West. I can't believe that Virginia at the 3:30 mark would still be running their offense with a 3-goal lead. Turnover wide. Bratton forces the ball inside through sticks. Carolina comes up running. Why not? Give the Heels another chance at it. Then in transition, Bitter gets his head taken off to Staines. Rips the corner. Now Now it's a 2-goal game with a man-up face-off for North Carolina.
Staines, the fourth of 4 Staines brothers to play at Chapel Hill. Brother Ronnie was an All-American.
Big grounder.
And there's Staines going to come and get another ground ball. Staines might come in. Does he get 2? Absolutely! What a turn of events here in Charlottesville. 13 seconds apart, it's a 1-goal ball game.
The extra man face-off. Ball swatted upfield. Watch Keenan, 25. Just gooses it into his offensive zone. Virginia over-pursued the ball. Carolina had a 4-on-3 break, a numbers game. Staines, back-to-back goals in 13 seconds.
With the pose to impress the judges there as well.
Back to even strength. All you had to do if you're Virginia is run for daylight, run to victory, and this game was over.
The self-inflicted wounds in this game by Virginia have been huge as Keenan violates early on the faceoff. The fluke goal by Flanagan, the turnover at the end of the third by Gittleman, and then the turnover there when really they just had to run their offense and run time off the clock. So now Briggs, Virginia with 16 turnovers on the game. Now if you're North Carolina, can you be more patient on the defensive end?
Absolutely not.
And there's Flanagan going to double the ball.
You got to flush the timeouts out of Virginia's pockets. They have 2, now they're down to 1.
Coach Bresci's team right back in this one, but still down by 1 on the road against number 9 Virginia. Welcome back to Charlottesville, and all of a sudden, Mark Staines, the microwave for North Carolina. Instant offense has gotten the Tar Heels right back in this one.
Virginia with a 3-goal lead. Turnover at a time when they didn't really need to be pushing to the net. Staines runs the field hard in transition. The junior from Annapolis has always thought of himself as an offensive-minded long stick. Takes the next face-off, back-to-back goals in 13 seconds. And what was 10-7 is now 10-9, and very interesting.
ABC's NBA Sunday Showcase continues with the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference. At 1 Eastern, Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls take on Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic. Then at 3 Eastern, Paul Pierce and the Celtics head to Miami to face LeBron James and the Heat. The NBA Sunday Showcase on ABC begins at 12:30 with Buick Regal NBA Countdown. How entertaining are the Eastern Conference playoffs going to be? So the ball will start on the wing. Ramel Bratton with Ryan Flanagan. They're fired up for the NBA playoffs. The Knicks back in it. The Sixers. Can the Bulls make it back to the finals? So now Flanagan tracking down Ramel. Number 9 Virginia with the ball, looking to snap its first 2-game losing streak since 2007. Number 8 North Carolina, looking for its first win over Virginia since 2004. Eamon McEnany along with Quint Kesenick from Klockner Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia. A very slow first quarter has led to an entertaining contest, now under 2 minutes. Flanagan trying to jar the ball loose from Ramel Bratton. Now Ramel gets a step, shoots, but I think Carolina has the ball back. So again, a costly shot as Restivo was there for the backup. He beat Flanagan, could have run to daylight and killed some time off the clock. So now, can Carolina take advantage and tie this one up at 10? Here's Dunster, and Coach Myers and Coach Bresci are going to take a timeout. The Heels with momentum and the ball right now.
I'll tell you, 10-7, this game should have been over with 3:30 to go. Some mismanaged offensive possessions by Virginia. Now they put the weight of this game on their goaltender, Adam Gittleman, who's been outstanding today. Virginia's gone to his own defense, and the senior has delivered his best performance of the year. Wing shot, easy as pie. Not only has he been making stops, he's been active out of the goal. Clean, covering up his rebounds. 15 saves. And he'll need one more, perhaps, or more.
Now, if you're Dom Starsia, you going back to your zone, man-to-man? What are you going to throw at North Carolina here?
Well, I think I got to go back to the zone because they just do not have anybody who can cover Billy Bitter. If Virginia would go man-to-man, I get the ball to number 4 in blue, Billy Bitter, and I let him dodge to the net so fast. Everybody else get out of the way.
Carolina in a similar situation last week in New Jersey, although much later in the game. They wanted it to start with Jimmy Dunster, but they were surprised sort of that Johns Hopkins put the toll on Dunster, and they forced a long shot.
Recognize what the defense is giving you right away, and if it changes, be vocal. Joe Bresci, head coach of North Carolina, out of timeouts.
So Dunster, Hutchins, and Foster are your midfielders, along with Wood, Bitter, and Galasso. LaPierre and Blake Riley are your short stick defenders, along with Clemens, Malfris, Previs, and McWilliams. So here's Bitter being guarded by LaPierre. Hutchins from up top. Foster. Dunster. Galasso. Back up. Now Hutchins throwing the pole. 1 minute to play in regulation here at Klockner. Bitter trying to lose LaPierre. Gets it to Galasso. Galasso doesn't find anybody open. Now Foster. Carolina out of timeouts. Dunster. Wood. Carolina being very patient here. You don't have to keep it in the box, down by 1. The crowd rises to its feet. Who's going to take a shot? Will they get a shot off? Bitter. Listen to this crowd here in Charlottesville for the final 20 seconds. North Carolina getting nowhere near the goal. Dunster wants to create with 10. Moves it along. Wood inside. We are tied. For the first time since 9:44 left in the first quarter, we are all even.
Just as you're about to say, what is Carolina doing? Are they ever going to put pressure on the net? Dunster steps in. Wood takes a chance. Carolina doesn't take the body. And watch this finish. Right here, you think he's going to shoot? Multiple fakes. Gittleman tries to stay with him. Jubilant reaction. Tied up at 10.
Well, he waited a while, but he has a point in 15 straight games now. Thomas Wood missed a couple of contests earlier this year. Has a goal in 15 straight games. So now 5.4, you can score, but it doesn't look like we will end this one in regulation. Bonus lacrosse from Klockner Stadium coming up on Old Spice College Lacrosse. It didn't start out as a thing of beauty, but it's sudden victory now. This one looked like it was a win for Virginia at 10-7, but the Heels with 5.4 tie it up. Sudden victory when we return to Virginia.
And the same thing, Scott, if they start that on that top edge, you know we might get Harry pulled off there. You got to get ready to come. We'll get Bray in that corner right there. All right, let's get one right now. Let's go. Start for the face-off. 1, 2, 3.
Get this G-base. Let's go. Let's go, Casa.
Dom Starsia looking for his 324th career victory now. Will have to be of the sudden victory variety as we take a look at the overtime rules for college lacrosse.
First team to score wins. Both teams get a timeout. That's critical.
So are the face-offs. R.G. Keenan winning 10 of 21, but Benacasa has come alive of late here in the fourth quarter for Virginia. Virginia looking to avoid a 3-game losing streak. North Carolina looking to snap a 7-game losing streak to the Cavs. Overtime is underway at Klockner. Keenan to Flanagan.
Nice handle by Flanagan.
So the Tar Heels, if they can clear it, will go to work first. How quickly do they take the timeout? Staines gets it in the box, and Joe Bresci, right next to the officials, gets the early timeout.
Facing off is a team activity. And while Keenan didn't cleanly win this draw, he did a good job boxing out his opponent. Flanagan, who's played a spectacular game on the wings, normally a close defender. They bumped him up today. He's been everywhere.
He has been as advertised as we listen in on Joe Bresci and the Heels.
Stop the ball, rotate, good sound rotation there. Committees know they got to get in the hole, right?
On the fast break, one time we did the reverse rotation coming off 29. We wants to do that again because that seemed to work. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do it. So we don't get into the 6. All right, now we got it. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Hey, play smart.
Joe Bresci was talking to the defense there. The focus now on the offense. They picked the zone apart lately here in the second half.
Done a great job dissecting the zone. Patience. Virginia's defense has gotten a little soft on the perimeter, and it's allowed Carolina ball handlers to pick things apart from the outside. I am most comfortable when Carolina is attacking the zone, the ball gets behind the goal to Nicky Galasso, 34, the freshman in blue. I think he's the guy that can pick it apart, and they can generate a mid-range shot off of Galasso assist.
This is how we got to 10-10 in overtime. It looked like this one was in the win column for Virginia at 10-7, but then a late flurry by North Carolina as the Tar Heels committed a few turnovers to give North Carolina life. Excuse me, Virginia.
Yeah, 3:30 to go in the ball game. Virginia had the ball in a 3-goal lead, and there's no way they were going to lose this ball game.
They took a shot with 2 minutes left to go. Restivo won the backup. So now North Carolina has a chance to get the road win against the top 10 team. Dunster. Good closeout defense by Ramel Brett.
20 in blue, Dunster has their best outside shot.
There's Bitter being guarded by LaPierre. Dunster. Too far away. Lasso has 3 assists already. Now they go up top to Hutchins. Hutchins looking to feed, moves it along instead to Dunster. Now Galasso. At the end of regulation, patience led to execution, led to a game-tying goal by Thomas Wood. Hutchins on the step down. Dunster can't put it on Cage.
You called it the step down. Someone's got to draw 2, and then you beat them with ball reversal.
2:20 left in our first overtime. Now Foster moves up top. Foster steps in, moves it along to Dunster. He goes low, shot blocked. Malphurs comes up with it. So Virginia comes up with the defensive stand with 2 minutes left in regulation.
Picked clean. Malphurs, the senior leader of this team.
Got to get in the box, and LaPierre should have no problem doing that as he moves it along to Briggs. So now the pressure moves to the North Carolina defense and Stephen Restivo. Virginia looking to improve to 8-3. So is North Carolina. There's Briggs. When does Virginia take the timeout? Briggs draws the double team. He is a load to handle. He has the ball. A freight train coming around goal line extended. Loses his defender. Can't put it on Cage. Shooting off balance. I don't think he knew how open he was. Stanwyck on the restart. 1:10 and counting here at Klockner Stadium. Number 9 with the ball against number 8. Bratton being guarded by Flanagan. Gets his hands free. Can't put it on Cage. Virginia has an overtime win earlier this year against Stony Brook. Stanwyck ended that one, and he ends this one. Steal. Stanwyck beats his defender. And Virginia snaps the 2-game losing streak with the 11-10 sudden victory win over North Carolina. It'll be a tough bus ride back to Chapel Hill for that man, because that team had momentum, but they didn't have an answer for Steele Stanwyck.
And for Dom Starsia and Virginia, they snapped the 2-game losing streak. Watch McComas, 45 in blue. This is a wet field surface, and he just loses his edge. The help's not there. Stanwyck, opportunistic. Does he dive in the crease? No. He is deflected by the defender in the crease. Clearly a legal goal. You talk about a guy with a high lacrosse IQ to take advantage of just a mistake by McComas. Defensively, you want to stay wide and sit down and play D. There's nothing he can do.
What a sense of relief in that huddle, because if they had lost this game up 10-7 late in the fourth for a third straight loss, that would have been tough to recover from.
This Virginia team that puts themselves in the hunt.
Now they get ready to face the nemesis from Durham, the Duke Blue Devils. That'll be Saturday at noon on ESPNU. Joe Bresci gets ready for Presbyterian, but they had a chance here to break through against Virginia.
And back-to-back losses for North Carolina, a young team that's definitely improving. But at times today, especially in the first half, tested by Virginia's zone defense.
Here are today's plays of the game.
So a very slow first quarter to this ball game led to an entertaining second half in overtime. As Joe Bresci will look for some answers.
ACC continuing to be a tough league to predict this year. Everybody's about the same. Duke, Maryland, Virginia, and Carolina. Going to be interesting to see how this last month of April plays out in league play.
Speaking of league play, the 2 leaders in the Big East will be on ESPNU this weekend. Coming up at 4, Syracuse at Princeton. Then tomorrow, Notre Dame against Georgetown. Once again, our final score, Virginia 11, North Carolina 10. The Cavs win it in overtime. Coming up next, it's NFL Quarterbacks Field Pass. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Quint Kesnick, I'm Eamon McEnany saying so long from Klockner Stadium.